This time around, Panda team taking that victory. Kill 2, while we were watching, you were commenting a little bit about the FCing.
Yeah, there was a couple important, there's a lot of important decisions in that match. There usually isn't the ones that are really close back and forth like that, but there were a couple that were particularly standing out to me. I was really surprised they took as long as they did to switch to the Guardian. I thought kind of when they had only the Ishtars left, the cool thing about the Ishtars is they don't really need locks. And so it was weird to me they were focusing so much on the carries and the Kitsune when they probably could have done plenty of damage to the Guardian since they were using sentry drones. And then eventually it became really impractical to use the sentry drones at all, and I thought they needed to drop those and switch to the mobile normal combat drones, which is exactly what they did right after I mentioned it, which was good. But I thought it was just a match that is a really good example of where the decisions, it's not all about the setups. The setups were interesting and they matter, but the decisions made on the field make a huge difference in this tournament format, more maybe than...
Was it a little bit slow, those decisions?
The decisions were slow? Yeah, I think they probably were a little bit, and it ended up not hurting Panda team in that case, but they got through anyway. But I think that is, the time it takes and the accuracy of those decisions is what separates the really good teams from the pretty good teams. Yeah.
We saw some Lishtars. That's Ishtars with lasers, for anyone that doesn't know. I know Verone was making a little bit fun of them, but were they a good choice?
Oh, they were surely an interesting choice. I would never have thought about fitting lasers on an Ishtar, and Kill2 has said that this is a very smart choice. I myself don't fly Galanti ships. I'm Caldari and I'm Amar mostly, but lasers are generally pretty good for like taking down like ships that like they get a bit more flexibility if they're like a little further and so on, rather than blasters and so on. So I guess it might be a good choice for the Ishtars to actually have that lasers on them.
You thought it was a great idea, didn't you, Kill2?
Yeah. You should always consider putting lasers on your ship. It doesn't matter what it is. Verone was completely wrong.
Completely?
Yeah, completely.
Okay.
It's great on the Ishtar. And actually what it did in this role is pretty common. It's probably small lasers. And they're really great for killing frigs because they have pretty decent range, they track pretty well, they do really good damage, and they're not hurting your cap that bad. I really like using lasers tend to have really high optimal for their size. So you put small lasers on, you can still do damage to stuff that's 5-10K away from you, no problem, whereas blasters would be really useless in that situation. So they're really good. Laser Ferox is really good, Laser Scorpions.
Yeah, they are really good. I think we've actually seen some Laser Feroxes in the tournament.
I hope we have.
We have.
Well, it's fun. We've seen some Bloas, some Blocks, hopefully some Lavens, and now some Lishtars. It's they're cool ships. Anyway, yeah, we are about to go into the next match, and we're about to get a new dev. It's been a pleasure having you as always, 4P.
Thank you.
Is there anything you'd just like here on the ropes, like to share? Just like anything at all?
Well, the thing that I'm working on is Dust, and I just want to say that we have an awesome team working on the project. We have awesome game design. We're going to introduce some fantastic new technology in that game, and it being a part of the EVE universe is just going to make EVE Online and the EVE universe just bigger and better. So I'm super excited about this project, and I hope others are too. Yeah, the players.
And we're looking at an EVE that in the future you'll be able to fly around in space, you'll be able to walk in stations, you'll be able to manage colonies on planets, and you'll be able to hire mercenaries in Dust.
Correct.
That sounds like a pretty cool universe that I'd like to play in.
It's big.
If I may say so.
Yes.
Yes, it will be bigger than anything else. Remember that the Alliance tournament is not just today. We will be running matches until around 2100 EVE, and then we have the final day of the Alliance tournament tomorrow. It starts at 1500 and runs till about the same time. And when that is all said and done, we will have a winner of this 8th Alliance tournament. But that is for tomorrow. We still have plenty of matches coming up. We have Dystopia versus Get Off My Lawn. PL still have to fight Atlas Alliance. There's a lot of cool stuff. And remember, we have prizes tomorrow. We have NVIDIA graphics cards, which power everything. We have network cards. We have the first 20 issues of Eon, the only 20 the only 20 copies, I believe. There isn't a 21st, I think. You can win those as well. So there's just a load of fun stuff this entire weekend, so don't go anywhere just yet. Kill2, are you looking forward to tomorrow?
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be awesome.
I heard a rumor that you will be doing commentary on the final.
It could be the case.
That could be the case?
Yeah, I'll have to see.
Yeah.
But I think I will do it.
Yeah. And you think that our good friends from Hydra Reloaded will take it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
If they don't get all their characters banned before it happens, they should have a good chance.
Yeah, and we had Admiral Gabarius get banned today. Well, not banned from game, but banned from the tournament.
Yeah, banned from the tournament.
Yeah. Do you remember what he did?
Yeah, he anchored Bubbles in Joe's space when he was supposed to be leaving.
Yeah.
Which they don't like that.
I think there was a bit of
flying. He
flying
tried to tour around a bit as well, check things out.
Yeah.
And that's not okay with Claw. You really, there's a good quote from somewhere, I think in the forum, someone said, "Don't give Claw a reason," you know? And I think that's good advice.
Yeah.
And Admiral Gabarius gave him a really big reason.
Yes.
And nearly probably disqualified them from the tournament, so.
Yeah. It is true. CCP Claw is harsh, but fair.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd say so. But anyway, that is, but I mean, we're talking about players who have been with the game for a long time. They know the Alliance tournament in and out. How much is this going to impact their team at all? Is Gabarius just going to jump on another character? You know?
Yeah, I think probably that's what'll happen.
Yeah.
And you mentioned they're kind of being vets and stuff. Gabarius actually from Pandemic Legion, he's been involved in the tournament for a long time. He was a big part of the setup designer for the PL teams that won in past years, and he'll still be a huge part of the team. He'll obviously contribute in almost every way that he had. He just won't be able to use that specific character, so he'll show up on an altar or do something really terrible like use someone else's. He would never do that.
He'd never do that. No one would do that. But I mean, he can't own multiple accounts, so he may have an altar too he can just pull in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe Vice Admiral Gabarius.
Maybe.
Who knows? But anyway, as you said, it shouldn't be a big problem. I think the worst penalty for any team is to get a point penalty.
Yeah, getting penalties relevant to the actual tournament structure and the matches themselves is really bad. Even losing HP for your ships or something like that is really worse than losing access to one specific character in future matches. And
we saw a team lose today. I think it was Lashuna Romana who actually had a we lost a slip neuron screen, and we didn't really know where it went. But as far as I know, that was actually a 60-day violation, that the character had not been in the Alliance for long enough, and Claw simply blew it up. And I mean, that's a penalty. Gabarius will probably just find another character.
Yeah, that hurts a lot worse for sure.
Brianna, do you think there's a limit to how many points you can lose before it becomes? I mean, if you lose frigates, if you lose a frigate, for example, if you lose 5 points or whatever. That's something you can get through. Where do you think the line is between where it kind of breaks your setup and just is
kind of like the breaking point of the match?
Yeah.
So a lot of people would go by the number of ships, which may be a good guide. I would say when you start losing all your DPS and you only have like say tacklers or tanks or logistics left, that's pretty much the end of the game. Obviously, we've seen like one Megathron versus one Megathron and so on in previous matches, previous tournaments, but that's going to be very rare. I think the tipping point is probably going to be when you lose about half of your team or more than half of your team, unless you have a very good cohesion between team members and they can keep their morale up. It's pretty much game over.
Yeah, I think you're right. We are ready for Dystopia versus Get Off My Lawn. Let's get a quick round of predictions and we can move on.
I'm rooting for Dystopia.
Brad?
Dystopia.
With a name like Get Off My Lawn, I just have to vote for them.
Okay, that's fair enough. I think I'll go with Dystopia as well. They've been tremendous.